Hello everyone. So today we will be reading about digestion of food in human beings. And what are the organs involved in the digestion of food inside human beings? Where does our food is being broken down? What are the parts in which it is being broken down? So all these things we will be studying here. Organs involved in the digestion of food. So this we will be seeing here. So now see here. Digestion of food. In human beings. So before starting this topic, digestion of food in human beings, you should know what the term digestion means. Okay, so digestion means to break down of food, and with the help of different organs present in the alimentary canal, the secretions of those organs. So if we will define digestion, then we should say that digestion is an anabolic process in which the complex food substances is being broken down into simpler form with the help of different organs present in the alimentary canal. So digestion, the breakdown of complex food substances into simpler form with the help of secretions from the organs present in alimentary canal. So the word here alimentary canal, what does this mean? Alimentary canal is the whole digestive tract from mouth to anus, and what are the organs present in it will be seen here. So organs involved in digestion of food. So we will be seeing here what are the organs involved in digestion of food. So first, mouth. Inside mouth there is work of teeth, tongue and salivary gland. So inside the mouth there is work of teeth, tongue and salivary gland. Other is pharynx, then after pharynx we will be seeing esophagus or food pipe. When after food pipe and esophagus, stomach and then intestine, both small intestine then large intestine, and in small intestine there are three parts present in the small intestine, and in those three parts there are two organs also involved, liver and pancreas, that help in the digestion of food. So there are three parts of small intestine: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. And liver, pancreas and the last one is large intestine. And in large intestine, it has four parts: cecum, colon, rectum, and anus. And colon is the biggest part, largest part in the large intestine. Most of the space, most of the large intestine is colon. Okay. So these are the organs present in our digestive tract, whole digestive tract, and we'll be seeing each and every organ and tract, what happens there during the digestion of food, how food is being broken down in those organs, or what are the functions of those organs for the digestion of food. All we will be thinking, all the things we will be seeing here. So first of all, mouth. So mouth, as we know, in the mouth there is teeth, tongue, and salivary gland. And all these three, how does they help in the digestion of food, we will be seeing here. So mouth, we can see this portion is called mouth. Okay, and the inside that mouth, whatever the space is there inside here, that is called buccal cavity. So we will draw a simple diagram here just to make you understand. So this portion here, we can say this one is buccal cavity. Okay, and this portion is called pharynx. And what this one is a common part or a common space where both buccal cavity and this nasal cavity opens. Okay, so this is the area where both the path of buccal cavity and nasal cavity does open. Now we will be seeing what happens inside the mouth. All these organs are there, and we will be seeing what happens inside the mouth. So inside the mouth, first if you will see, these are lips, and after that in the buccal cavity there is teeth, tongue, and salivary gland. Okay, so buccal cavity contains teeth, tongue, and salivary glands. So first of all, we will be seeing what are the functions of this teeth. Okay, what does this teeth help us? So there we know that there are 32 types of 32 total teeth of 4 types. Okay, the front flat teeth are called incisors, and the pointed, sharp pointed teeth after the incisor is known as canine, and broad spaced teeth after the canine are called premolar, and the last one, okay, that are called molars, which have more broader space than the premolars. So there are 4 types of teeth: incisors, and in this 32 teeth, total 8 teeth are incisor, and second is canine, and 4 teeth are canine, third one is premolar, and after every canine there is 2 premolar. So total 8 premolar are there, and last is molar. And after the every molar or after the molar inside our mouth in both the sides, in upper and lower jaw in both the sides, there are 3 molar. So total 12 molar. So 8, 12, 20 and 12, 32. So total 32 teeth are there. And each of these teeth has different functions that they help in the, some teeth help in tearing the foods. As we know, these incisors are the front flat big teeth. So these incisors help in cutting the food. Okay, anything that we cut, for cutting the food, this incisor does help us. And this canine teeth, after incisor there are some pointed teeth inside our mouth. So those incisors help in the tearing down of foods. And after that, premolar. So after every incisor there is 2 premolar, and this premolar has a little broad surface that help in chewing, grinding and crushing the food. Okay, and after this premolar, 3 molars are there on both upper and lower jaw in both the sides, in left and right side. So left side and in right side in both the sides. In lower jaw there is 12 and in upper jaw, sorry, in lower jaw there is 6 and in upper jaw there is 6. So total 12 are there. So these are the 12 teeth, and this teeth also does have bigger and broader surface than premolar, and it also help in chewing, grinding and crushing down of the foods into simpler form or into smaller pieces. Okay, so this teeth help only to chew down the food. And what does the tongue help? So this tongue help in mixing the food with our saliva. Okay, whatever the salivary gland secretes the saliva, this tongue help in mixing the food, and there is nothing else other function or digestion. But yes, it help in tasting the food. Whatever the taste of the food is there, it helps taste the food because it does have gustatory receptor, and those gustatory receptors help or senses the taste of the food. And this salivary gland, there are 3 pairs of salivary gland located in our buccal cavity, and these 3 pairs of salivary gland secrete saliva. Okay, so salivary gland secretes saliva. How many salivary glands are there? 3 pairs. There are 3 pairs of salivary gland, and it does secrete saliva. And what does this saliva contain? Saliva contains different enzymes and mucus. So first of all, it contains mucus. Second, it contains ptyalin or salivary amylase. So ptyalin or salivary amylase, this is an enzyme. And third, it contains lysozyme enzyme. Lysozyme enzyme. So this mucus makes the food wet and soft. Okay, so whatever the food we eat different types of food. Like some food are very hard and dry. So this mucus help in providing moisture to the food. It makes the food wet, and also it makes the food soft, so that we could swallow the food inside our gut. Okay, so that we could swallow the food inside our through our this food pipe, esophagus. Then ptyalin or salivary amylase, this both are same. It is an enzyme, and this lysozyme enzyme is also an enzyme. Okay. Most of the time, some students get confused about lysozyme and lysosome. So this lysosome is a cell organelle present inside the cell, and this lysozyme is an enzyme which is secreted by salivary glands inside the buccal cavity. Okay, and this lysosome are cell organelles present inside the cell. Now we'll be seeing the function of tilene and lysozyme. So tilene or salivary amylase, whatever the food that we eat, whatever carbohydrates are there, starch is there, this carbohydrate or starch is broken down into simpler form inside our mouth. So digestion of food starts with our mouth. There might be some questions about digestion. Where does digestion of food start? So what we have to say? Digestion of food starts with our mouth. So tilene, it is an enzyme and it breaks the starch present in our food into simple sugar like maltose and dextrine. Okay, so tilene breaks down the food present in our, break down the starch of the food into simple sugar like maltose and dextrine. So tilene acts on starch and break it into maltose plus dextrine. Okay. Now next, this lysozyme enzyme. This lysozyme enzyme is actually an enzyme that help to kill the microorganism or bacteria present in our food. Okay, before going into our esophagus. So kills the pathogens present in the food. It does not kill completely, it kills partially, because the completely whatever the microorganism is being killed inside the stomach by HCl. So it does partially kill the microorganisms. Now we will be seeing how does the food or partially digested food from mouth goes to the stomach. So next we will be discussing about esophagus, and this esophagus is actually a muscular long tube that originates from our mouth and ends at stomach, or it opens at stomach. So this is the stomach, and this we can say esophagus or food pipe. So it originates from the buccal cavity, mouth, and ends at stomach. So what happened here in the food pipe? So there is a repeated contraction and relaxation present in the food pipe, and due to which this food transfer from top of the region of the mouth to the stomach. So after the digestion of the food in mouth, whatever the food is partially digested, then the food converts in the form of small bolus, or it takes the shape of the bolus, okay, by repeated chewing. So by repeated chewing and action of saliva, the partially digested food takes the shape of a small bolus, and this small bolus, from here it will come during contraction and relaxation. Due to the peristaltic movement, it will come to the stomach. Okay, so the food in the form of bolus will transfer in the stomach, by peristalsis movement in the food pipe. So now, what is this peristalsis movement, and does it occur only in the esophagus? So what is esophagus? First of all, you should know. So esophagus is a muscular tube that originates from mouth and ends at the stomach. And what is this peristalsis occurring in the esophagus? So peristalsis is the repeated contraction and relaxation of the food pipe, due to which food from mouth can reach up to the stomach. Why? Because we know that the food is being pushed from the top, and when it will contract, the food will come downward. When it will relax, again one food will come, one bolus will come. So due to contraction and relaxation in the whole esophagus, this food from top, it enter inside the stomach. Okay. So peristalsis. The repeated contraction and relaxation of the muscular wall of the whole alimentary canal due to which food enters inside the stomach. Okay, so this is called peristalsis movement, and as the food will come to the stomach, then the next thing will happen, that digestion of food will occur inside the stomach by different digestive juices that will be secreted by stomach. Okay, so thank you.